Hello students. Uh, Today, though we are meeting after quite some time, we'll be talking about your fourth unit of the course Experimental Psychology. And I was a little uh, relaxed about it that since we have already done 3 units and there's just 1 unit of this course which is left. So today we'll be taking up that, and that unit is named attention. So as we have done different various processes, psychological processes earlier, whether it is sensation or perception, uh, then attention is also a process in that continuum. When we have sensation for something, then we perceive it, and we perceive something very clearly and definitely when we pay attention to it. So all these processes are part of a series which help in cognition, which are a part of our cognitive functioning. So today attention is our topic for this video. And you know what happens, how we can understand attention is, it's like there are so many stimuli around us in our environment, and it is not possible for us to pay heed or pay equal amount of focus on all of them. So we select some or one at a time, and then we try to understand it clearly. And then clear perception of that stimuli or that event or that object takes place. If we want to understand it with some other example, it's like if we visit a mall, suppose shopping mall, and there are so many shops in the mall, and if we go to each and every shop and try to explore various things, it's very very difficult for us to do so. It's very exhausting, very tiring, and in order to avoid that, what we do is we just go to those shops where we find our needful articles, or where from where we can get our requirements. So it's somewhat like that. So that means we are paying uh, attention to only few shops where we can get our uh, essentials. So attention is a process through which we pay uh, focus, or we concentrate our focus on only those events, objects, or stimuli which are of some importance to us, ignoring others around, so that it becomes for us simpler to carry on our day-to-day activities and to understand the things in a clear manner. So, in the process of attention, we bring certain things, certain stimuli in our consciousness, ignoring others. Means we become aware of only a few things which are of some importance or which we really need to focus on. Like a student sitting in the class, if he's interested in studies, he'll put his attention, put his focus to what the teacher is teaching. And there might be others who will be thinking about going to a movie with the friends or doing some other activity at home. So attention means that out of many available options, you are bringing one or more than one sometime objects or events or stimuli in consciousness. Consciousness means awareness. So this is how the process of attention becomes important in psychological study or in the study of behavior. Now, if we go across different definitions of attention, then there are many definitions which are there which can be um, discussed. A few of them we'll try to discuss here. One definition is by Damiel. Attention is the concentration of consciousness upon one object rather than upon another. So as I was discussing, that attention is the concentration of consciousness. When we concentrate our awareness on one object rather than upon any other, then we say that we are paying attention to that particular object or event. Okay. Then second definition is by R.U.C.H. Rach. Attention is the process of psychological selectivity by which we select from a vast number of stimuli only those which are related to present interests and needs. So, according to Rach, attention is the process of psychological selectivity. Through this process of attention, we select psychologically. What we select? Only those out of from a vast number of stimuli. Many stimuli, vast number of stimuli around us, we select only those which are related to present interests and needs. Only those stimuli we select to focus on which are related to our present interests and needs. जो हमारे इंटरेस्ट के हैं, जो हमारी नीड को फुलफिल कर रहे हैं, so we select only those. Okay. Then third is by Bruno. It is attention is the tendency of organisms to respond to only a portion of available stimuli at a given moment. So according to Bruno, attention is the tendency of organisms, that is when out of many stimuli only few are selected for responding, then we say that the organism is paying attention to only those few or only that one out of many stimuli for his response. Okay, when we pay attention to something, then we behave or we show some kind of response towards it. The response can be of various types. Then Atkinson, attention is the ability to select information for more detailed inspection while ignoring other information. From many informations around us, only we select only those informations which we are interested in, of course, or which fulfill our needs, while ignoring other information. So many informations around us, but we select only that information for detailed inspection so that we can understand it fully or completely, while ignoring other information, while we ignore others. So simultaneously there are so many things going around us, but we don't pay attention to it. Suppose you are listening to this video, an audio, and simultaneously there are so many things going around you. Somebody's watching TV, somebody's playing outside, somebody's talking to each other, but you know what, you are selecting to pay heed, or you are selecting this video to understand in detail, and then you can say you are paying attention to it. Okay, so this is how attention works. So what basically attention does is, अटेंशन जो है वो हमें बचाता है फ्रॉम मेंटल एग्जॉशन. अदरवाइज इफ वी कीप ऑन पेइंग अटेंशन टू ईच एंड एवरीथिंग वॉट एवर वी परसीव, then it will be very very mentally exhausting for us, and that will hamper in our cognitive functioning or in our day-to-day functioning. So attention makes the things easier for us by selecting few out of many to be brought into the consciousness at a particular moment or time. Then some more definitions of attention which you can refer to your book, that is Shashi Jain. In this book there is a definition by McBurney and Collins: capacity to respond to one stimulus at a time. So according to McBurney and Collins, attention is the capacity to respond to one stimuli at a time. When we respond to one stimuli at a time, that means we are paying attention to that very stimulus. But there is also division of attention where we can do many things at a time. But sometimes what happens that it's not just that we can pay attention to only one thing always. That is our choice, that we want to pay attention to only one thing. But sometimes what we do, we are studying also, we are listening to music also, we are talking to somebody also simultaneously. So then that division of attention can also be there, if we are capable of attending to so many things simultaneously. Then another definition is by Stout: attention is tendency to dwell on an object so as to understand it theoretically or practically. So according to Stout, attention is the tendency to dwell on an object, to put your whole attention or whole focus on an object so as to understand it theoretically or practically, so that one can understand that object completely, whether it is theoretical aspects of it or whether it's practical aspects, so that complete knowledge of that object can be obtained. Then by Perry et al. Perry et al. Means Perry and others. Et al. Is the word, it's used when there are more than one people contributing to that. So attention is the concentration of consciousness on certain objects to the exclusion of others in the environment. So according to Perry and others, attention is the concentration of consciousness. When we concentrate our consciousness on certain objects only and we exclude others in the environment around us, then that is called attention. Okay. Then Collins and Drever, attention is a process in which only one selected response is given out of various simultaneous stimuli. According to Collins and Drever, attention is a process through which we respond only to one or stimulus at a time, while there are many stimuli around us. तो एक के प्रति ही जब हम अपनी रिस्पॉन्ड करते हैं, एक को ही रिस्पॉन्ड करते हैं, दो देर आर मेनी स्टिमुली प्रेजेंट अराउंड अस, देन दैट इज कॉल्ड attention, that we are paying attention to that particular stimulus. According to Woodworth, to attend is to get ready to perceive a certain object or perform a certain act. When we say attention please or I need your attention, what we do? We are getting ready to perceive a certain object. We are preparing ourselves to understand about certain object or to perform a certain act. हम किसी काम को करने के लिए या किसी चीज़ के बारे में, किसी ऑब्जेक्ट के, किसी इवेंट के बारे में समझने के लिए अपने आप को जब हम तैयार करते हैं, देन दैट इज कॉल्ड अटेंशन. Then a selective, it's basically a selective and mental process through which we bring a stimulus or a group of stimuli in the focus of our consciousness. So according to Sully, it is a selective mental process. It is selective because out of many we are selecting one or few, and it's a mental process. This all happens in our mind, through which we bring a stimulus or a group of stimuli in the focus of our consciousness. What we do through this process, through this mental process, we bring a group of stimuli or a single stimulus in the focus of our consciousness, in the focus of our awareness, so that we can fully understand it. So these are different definitions of attention which you can go through and understand. We can have a live session also very soon, so that in case of any problem of yours, things can be addressed or discussed. Okay, so this was about the concept and definition of attention. So other things, that is the characteristics of attention and all, we'll be discussing, and in the next video, which I'll be putting tomorrow. Put your attendance in the comment box as usual. Thank you.